your words are the most powerful or destructive tool that you have for yourself, but also for other people.
There is a hidden power within you, a current of energy so vast, so ancient, that it has been whispered about in sacred texts, sung in the hymns of monks, and woven into the myths of old. Some call it life force, chi, prana, or the divine spark. But what if this power, your power, could be activated through something so simple, so overlooked, that it has been hiding in plain sight all along? Words. The secret hidden in plain sight. Not just any words, but ancient wordplay, a lost art, a forgotten key that once unlocked the gates of understanding. When spoken, written, or even thought in a certain way, words do more than communicate. They shift energy, they awaken, they shape reality. Imagine for a moment that the words you choose are more than just sounds. Imagine they are living things, rippling through the fabric of existence like a stone dropped in a still lake. Every syllable, every breath carries intention. And intention, that is the pulse of creation itself. From the dawn of human understanding, cultures and traditions have recognized the profound power of sound, not just as a tool for communication, but as the very force that brings existence into being. Before the world had shape, before light or darkness could be distinguished, there was vibration, the hum of creation. This idea is found in nearly every major spiritual and mystical tradition, revealing a universal truth that transcends time and geography. In Hindu philosophy, the concept of Om represents the primordial vibration from which the cosmos emerged. It is not merely a syllable, but a resonance that permeates all existence. The Mandukya Upanishad, one of the core texts of Vedanta philosophy, describes Om as the past, present, and future contained in a single sound. Chanting it aligns the individual with the fundamental rhythm of the universe, harmonizing the inner and outer worlds. This belief is not just symbolic, it is reflected in scientific principles as well. Modern physics tells us that everything in the universe, from the tiniest subatomic particle to the largest galaxy, vibrates at its own frequency. The ancient seers understood this intuitively, recognizing that sound is not just a phenomenon, but a force of creation itself. The idea of sound as the origin of existence is also deeply embedded in Christian theology. The Gospel of John begins with a powerful declaration. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Here, the Word, logos in Greek, is not simply spoken language, but the divine principle of reason, order, and creation. It is through this word that all things come into being. In Christian mysticism, logos is the divine intelligence that structures reality, an unseen but omnipresent force shaping existence through sound and intention. The connection between sound and divinity is reinforced throughout biblical traditions. In Genesis, God does not shape the world with his hands. He speaks it into being. Let there be light, and light emerges. Words are not just descriptions, they are acts of creation, imbued with an energy that transforms the void into form. The ancient Egyptians had their own understanding of sound as a creative force. They believed in the power of Hekau, sacred words that could alter reality itself. Egyptian priests and magicians did not simply recite prayers. They wielded Hekau as tools, channeling the divine essence through their speech. Hekau was more than just a method of communication. It was an act of manifestation. The gods themselves were thought to have spoken the world into existence. The god Ptah, for instance, was believed to create by speaking the names of things into being. To the Egyptians, words were not just symbols of meaning. They were living energies that shaped reality. Hieroglyphs, the written form of the Egyptian language, were seen as more than just writing. They were expressions of divine power, capable of influencing the material and spiritual worlds. To write something was to give it life. To speak a name was to invoke its essence. Across these different traditions, Hindu, Christian, and Egyptian, the message is clear. Speech is not just expression, it is manifestation. Words, whether spoken, written, or chanted, carry the potential to shape reality. This understanding is not limited to religious traditions. In the field of cymatics, a branch of science that studies the effects of sound on matter, experiments have shown that vibrations create intricate geometric patterns in sand, water, and other substances. Certain frequencies form symmetrical, harmonious shapes, while dissonant sounds produce chaotic, disordered structures. This is a modern reflection of what ancient traditions have long taught. Sound has the power to organize and transform. If the universe itself was spoken into existence, what does this mean for us? It suggests that the words we use are not just passive expressions, they actively shape our world. The thoughts we verbalize, the names we give things, and the affirmations we repeat have an energetic impact on both ourselves and the reality we inhabit. The words we choose can uplift, empower, and heal, or they can destroy, weaken, and bind. Mantras, prayers, and affirmations are all practical applications of this principle, using sound to direct energy toward a desired outcome. Many traditions also stress the importance of silence. If speech is creation, then unnecessary words are wasted energy. The practice of sacred silence, known in various traditions as mauna, is a way to preserve one's inner power, ensuring that when words are finally spoken, they carry weight and intention. The idea that sound is the foundation of existence is not just an ancient belief. It is a principle that continues to resonate in spiritual, philosophical, and scientific discussions today. From the Om of the Vedas to the Logos of Christianity to the Hekau of ancient Egypt, sound has always been seen as a force that transcends mere language, connecting the material and spiritual worlds. We are, in essence, beings of vibration. Our words, thoughts, and intentions ripple through existence, shaping the reality we experience. If sound was there at the beginning, it remains with us now. Every word we speak carries within it the same creative potential that shaped the cosmos. The question is, how will we use it? But here is where most people miss the point. They think of words as labels, tools for naming things that already exist. In truth, words do not follow reality. Words create reality. A single phrase can uplift a soul or crush it. A mantra repeated with pure intent can calm the mind, ease the heart, and align the spirit. This is no accident. This is the way the universe is wired. If you've ever felt exhausted, unmotivated, or lost, it is not because your energy is gone. It is because the words you feed yourself, the words others feed you, have drained you. The wrong words close doors. The right ones open them. Now take a deep breath. Feel the air enter your body, filling your lungs, your belly, your chest. This is more than oxygen. This is life force. And when paired with the right word, this breath becomes something extraordinary. The word behind the word. You see, the true magic of language is not in its surface meaning but in the hidden patterns beneath. The rhythm, the sound, the way syllables vibrate against the tongue. The ancient Sufi mystics understood this well. They spoke of dhikr, the remembrance, chants and prayers that, when repeated, turned the speaker into a vessel for divine energy. But you do not have to be a monk or a mystic to tap into this power. You already use it, unknowingly, every single day. Think about the words you say most often. Do they lift you? Do they strengthen you? Or do they bind you in invisible chains? There is an ancient teaching often misunderstood that says, "As within, so without." This is not just philosophy, it is a formula. What you say within your mind becomes the world you live in. Long ago, sages and scholars played with words, not just to amuse, but to unlock doors of understanding. They knew that the way a word was arranged, the way it echoed itself, could shift perception. In Hebrew mysticism, there is a practice called gematria, where letters and numbers are connected in a special way, revealing hidden meanings. In the Hebrew alphabet, each letter has a number, and by looking at the numbers and their connections, deeper messages within sacred texts can be uncovered. Gematria is not just about decoding words, but about understanding a deeper truth that exists beneath the surface of the language. It's believed that the universe itself is somehow coded in numbers, and by studying these connections, we can understand more about the world and the hidden forces at work. In Zen Buddhism, there is a practice of using koans, mysterious questions or statements that don't make logical sense. The purpose of a koan is not to find a simple answer, but to break free from our usual ways of thinking. When we hear a koan like, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" we can't solve it with logic or reason. Instead, the point is to let go of our usual thinking patterns and open our minds to a deeper level of awareness. Koans help us move beyond the limits of our normal thinking and experience life in a more direct and meaningful way. In Norse traditions, the runes were not just letters, but symbols of power. Each rune represented a different force or energy in the world. When the Norse people carved these symbols into objects like wood or stone, they believed they were calling upon the power of the rune to influence their lives. The runes were more than a way to write. They were tools to shape reality. By using them, people believed they could protect themselves, gain wisdom, or change things in their lives. All of these traditions share a belief that words, symbols, and sounds are not just ways to communicate. They are powerful forces that can shape the world around us. Whether it's the special meanings hidden in gematria, the life-changing riddles of Zen, or the magical power of the runes, these practices show us that language is far more than just a way to express ideas. It is a key to understanding the deeper forces of life and the universe. Ancient cultures knew this, and even today, we are beginning to realize the power that words and symbols can have in creating and understanding the world around us. The key is not just the word itself, but the way it is used. A riddle, a rhyme, a whispered phrase spoken just right. It all shifts the energy inside you. You have felt this before. Have you ever spoken a sentence aloud and felt a strange chill run through your spine? That was not a coincidence. That was resonance. The first step to unlocking your inner energy is awareness. Before you can harness the hidden power within, you must first recognize how words shape your reality. Pay attention to the language that surrounds you, the casual phrases spoken by strangers, the expressions you use without thinking, the thoughts that loop in your mind like a quiet, persistent hum. Every word carries a vibration, and every vibration has an effect, whether subtle or profound. Begin by listening. Observe the way different words feel when they leave your lips. Some words are light, lifting your spirit effortlessly, while others settle in your body like a weight, draining your energy without you realizing it. Notice how your posture shifts when you say something encouraging versus when you utter words of doubt. Feel the tension or ease they bring to your breath, the tightness or openness they create in your chest. Language is not just a tool for communication. It is a force that directs your inner current. Certain words weaken you. These are the phrases of limitation, of resignation, of fear disguised as practicality. They creep into your speech unnoticed. I can't. I'm stuck. This is just the way things are, until they become part of your identity, shaping the way you move through the world. These words drain not just your energy, but your potential, binding you to a version of yourself that is smaller than your true nature. Other words strengthen. They ignite something in you, awakening a power that has always been there but has been waiting for the right command. Words like, I am capable, I am growing, I am awake, do more than shift your mindset. They shift your frequency. When spoken with awareness, these words begin to charge your energy field, aligning you with a higher state of being. And then there are the words that electrify. These are not just affirmations or positive statements. They are activations. They move through your body like lightning, igniting dormant pathways of strength and clarity. Some of these words are personal, your own true name, spoken with intention. Others are ancient, sacred sounds carried through generations of seekers who understood their power. When you find and use these words, you do not just speak, you awaken. Listen closely, for the words you choose will determine the energy you carry. Speak wisely, and you will begin to feel a shift. The power within you is not something distant or unreachable. It is already present, waiting for you to call it forth. The forgotten sound that calls energy to you. There are words that have been lost to time, not in the sense that no one speaks them anymore, but in the sense that their power, their deeper resonance, has been buried beneath modern noise. Long ago, sages understood that sound was not just something to be heard, but something to be felt. Every language, every syllable, every vibration had weight, influence, and, most importantly, effect. Today, this understanding has been dulled. We hear words, we use them, but we do not listen to them. We do not feel them in our bones the way the ancients once did. But you can. And once you do, something inside you will shift. Think back to a time before written language, before ink and parchment, before chiseled stone. How did humanity share its deepest truths? How did wisdom pass from one soul to another? Through sound, through spoken word, through the breath that carried meaning across generations. The Aboriginal tribes of Australia speak of the songlines, ancient melodies that map the land itself. They say the world was sung into being. In Hinduism, the universe vibrates with Nada Brahma, sound is God. And across countless spiritual traditions, the spoken name of the divine, whether Yahweh, Aum, or Elohim, is said to hold more power than any written scripture ever could. Because to speak something is to give it life. What if you could reclaim this? What if the way you spoke, not just to others but to yourself, was the key to unlocking a force long dormant within you? There are certain sounds that have always held power, not just for those who believe in mysticism, but even in the cold, calculating realm of science. Take the simple vibration of Om, chant it slowly, and you will feel it. Not in your mind, but in your chest, your stomach, your very cells. It hums through you, aligning something deeper than thought. The same effect can be found in ancient names, mantras, and even everyday words that, when spoken with awareness, awaken something forgotten. Consider these. Yes, when said with true conviction, does it not feel like an opening, a shift? No. Firmly spoken, it builds a wall, a boundary, a line that cannot be crossed. I am the foundation of identity. Whatever follows shapes your reality. Now think of the words you whisper in frustration, in doubt, in fear. I can't. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Do you see? These are not just expressions of emotion. They are instructions, commands given to the energy within you. What if you changed them? What if, instead of I can't, you said, I am finding a way? Instead of I don't know, you said, the answer is coming to me. This is not just positive thinking. This is recalibrating your energy. the way a musician tunes an instrument. There is a story, ancient and often overlooked, about a name that was never meant to be spoken lightly. In Jewish mysticism, the Tetragrammaton, YHWH, is considered the unspoken name of God. Not because it was forbidden, but because it was powerful. It was said that to speak it in full understanding was to move mountains, to alter destiny. Now, whether you believe in such things literally is not the point. The point is this: certain words, when spoken with the right breath, the right focus, can change something in the air around you, in the air within you. There is a name that belongs to you as well, not the one given at birth, but the one waiting inside, the one you have yet to fully claim. You will know it when you feel it. It is not a name in the traditional sense. It is a sound that calls forth the energy lying dormant within you. There is a name that belongs only to you, not the one spoken by friends or written on legal documents, but the name that calls forth your deepest energy. This name has been with you since before you were born, yet most never hear it, not because it is hidden, but because the world has taught them to listen to the wrong things. But if you quiet the noise, if you attune your ears not to language but to resonance, you will begin to sense it. Throughout history, names have never been mere labels. In many traditions, to know the true name of a thing was to hold power over it. The ancient Egyptians believed names carried the essence of a person's soul. In the Bible, figures transformed the moment their names changed. Abram to Abraham, Jacob to Israel, Simon to Peter. The name was never just an identifier, it was a shift in energy, a revelation of purpose. And then there are the names never meant to be spoken aloud, names that hold such force that they become sacred. But what if your own true name carried that same energy? Not the one given to you, but the one your soul knows. How words shape identity. If I ask you, who are you? What is your first response? Your job title, your family role, your personality traits. These are the names the world has given you, but they are not you. They are costumes, masks, definitions created by the expectations of others. But beneath all that, there is a core, a pulse of energy that existed long before society gave you labels. Your hidden name is not a word in the usual sense. It is the sound of your essence, and once you begin to hear it, everything changes. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply, slowly. Listen, not to external noise, but to the hum beneath your thoughts. There is a vibration within you, a frequency unique to your being. Some have heard it in dreams. Others have felt it when lost in music, in nature, in moments of deep stillness. It is always there, waiting. Mystics across cultures have described this sound in different ways. The Hindus speak of anahata nada, the unstruck sound, a frequency that exists within beyond any instrument. Some Buddhist monks describe a ringing, silence heard in deep meditation, a tone that seems to come from nowhere, yet fills everything. Have you ever noticed a faint ringing in your ears when the world is silent? A soft hum that isn't coming from the outside. That is the edge of it. That is the doorway to hearing your true name. Once you become aware of this inner vibration, you can begin to shape it. This is why certain words, when spoken with true intention, have such an electrifying effect. They do not just communicate, they activate. Think of the power in simple syllables, Om, resonating through the chest, aligning breath and body. Ah, the sound of openness, expansion. Vibrating deep in the throat, grounding thought into presence. The name you seek carries this same force. It is not a name like John or Sarah or David. It is a frequency, a rhythm, a key that unlocks the energy within you. Speaking the name that calls forth power. The moment you speak something, it becomes real. This is an ancient truth, buried beneath layers of noise and distraction. Words do not simply describe reality, they shape it. They command energy, open doors, and summon forces both seen and unseen. If you have followed this journey so far, you have begun to sense it. The pulse of a sound within you, a name beyond language, a vibration waiting to be spoken into being. But now, a deeper question emerges. What happens when you say it? Throughout history, many cultures and religions have shared a deep understanding that life begins with breath. It is not just about taking in air to survive. It is something much greater, something sacred. Across different traditions, breath is seen as the force that brings life, energy, and even spiritual connection. In the Bible, the book of Genesis describes how God created the first human, Adam, from the dust of the ground. But Adam was not truly alive until God breathed life into him. This breath was more than just oxygen. It was the very spirit of life, a divine force that transformed Adam from a lifeless body into a living being. The idea that breath carries life and spirit is deeply woven into many other religious and spiritual beliefs. In Hinduism, the concept of prana represents this same idea. Prana is often translated as life force or vital energy, and it is believed to flow through every living being. It is carried by breath and moves through invisible channels in the body. In yoga, special breathing techniques are used to control prana, helping people feel more balanced, energized, and spiritually awakened. This belief teaches that by controlling the breath, one can influence their health, emotions, and even their connection to the divine. The ancient Greeks had a similar idea. They used the word pneuma, which means breath or spirit, to describe the invisible force that gives life to all things. Pneuma was believed to be a divine wind that entered the body, animating the soul and allowing a person to think, feel, and exist. It was not just physical breath, it was a connection to something greater, a force that linked humans to the divine. Across the world, breath has also been closely tied to sound and speech. Many traditions teach that words, chants, and sacred sounds hold great power, and that breath is what brings them to life. In Hinduism, the sacred sound Om is often chanted during meditation. This sound is believed to be the vibration of the universe itself, a powerful force that connects all things. But without breath, there would be no sound. Breath gives words their energy and makes them resonate in the world. In many Native American traditions, breath is also seen as sacred. Some tribes believe that the wind is the breath of the Great Spirit, and that every time a person breathes, they are connecting with the spirit of life itself. In ceremonies and rituals, controlled breathing is often used to enter a deeper spiritual state, allowing one to receive guidance or healing. This deep connection between breath and life is not just an ancient idea. Even modern science has discovered that the way we breathe affects our body, mind, and emotions. Slow, deep breathing can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and bring a sense of calm, while shallow or fast breathing can make us feel anxious and tense. Many spiritual practices, including meditation, prayer, and chanting, involve focused breathing because it helps quiet the mind and open the heart. What all these traditions teach us is that breath is more than just air. It is life itself. It carries energy, connects us to the divine, and even gives power to our words and thoughts. Whether we call it the breath of God, prana, pneuma, or the sacred wind, the message is the same. Breath is a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, between what is seen and what is unseen. By becoming aware of our breath, we can connect with something far greater than ourselves, something eternal, powerful, and deeply mysterious. To speak your true name is not just about forming syllables. It is about exhaling energy into existence. It is about pairing breath with intention, turning a whisper into a force of nature. When you say your true name, not the one the world gave you, but the one your soul recognizes, you are not just identifying yourself, you are activating yourself. Consider the way sound moves through the body, a deep hum in the chest, a sharp call in the throat, a whisper that sends chills down your spine. Certain words make you feel stronger, others drain you. This is not psychological, it is energetic. Think of how different it feels to say, "I am lost, I am finding my way, I am powerless, and I am waking up." Each of these phrases shifts something inside you. They either trap or release energy. They either bind you to old patterns or unlock something new. Now, imagine what happens when you speak the one word that belongs to you alone. The name that is not just a sound, but a summoning. Your true name is not something you invent. It is something you discover. It is already within you, waiting to be heard. How do you find it? Finding the resonance. The answer is resonance. Close your eyes. Let your breath slow. Feel the vibrations in your chest as you hum softly. Stretch out sounds. Ah, ooh, ee. And pay attention to which one makes something inside you stir. Try fragments of words, syllables that feel natural. Speak them out loud, slowly, and notice the shift in your body. Some sounds will feel empty, others will make your skin tingle, your heart beat faster. That is the signal. That is your key. Many ancient traditions believed in sacred syllables, sounds that aligned the speaker with divine energy. The Hebrews had the ineffable name of God, the Buddhists had their mantras, the Sufis their chants. But your sound, your name, is uniquely yours. It is not about religion or belief. It is about vibration, about what makes your spirit come alive. When you find the sound that calls you, you will know. You may not understand it fully yet, but it will feel right. It will feel like home. Speak it, whisper it. Let it roll through you like thunder, like a river, like wind over mountains. And as you do, something within you will shift. The energy that has waited in silence will rise. The current of your own being will surge forward, directing the energy of your true name. Something is shifting. If you have followed this journey with intention, you have already begun to sense it. You have felt the weight of words. You have heard the hum beneath silence. You have spoken sounds that stir the deepest parts of your being. And perhaps, just perhaps, you have found the name that calls you back to yourself. But knowing the name is only the beginning. Now you must learn how to use it. There is a reason ancient wisdom speaks of words that move mountains. In the Bible, God speaks the world into existence. In Hinduism, the universe vibrates with Om, the sound of all creation. Indigenous traditions across the world use chanting and song to call forth rain, to heal wounds, to awaken spirits. Even science, often hesitant to acknowledge the unseen, has begun to recognize what mystics have always known. Sound carries power. Think of how music shifts your emotions, how a single word can ignite rage, dissolve fear, spark love. Words are not just tools of communication, they are frequencies that shape reality. Your name, your true name, is no different. To use your name is to direct energy, to turn breath into force, to make the unseen seen. Try this. Speak your name, not your given one, but the one you have discovered. Say it in a whisper, then say it in a breathy exhale, then say it with full voice, as if calling it across a great distance. Each time, feel the difference. When spoken with certainty, your name is like a tuning fork for your being. It aligns scattered energy. It focuses intention, and when spoken in ritual, it becomes a tool for transformation. Now that you have found your sound, you must learn when and how to use it. In moments of doubt, whisper your name and let it remind you of your strength, your path, and your essence. When faced with decisions, say it firmly, as if sealing a pact with the universe, allowing it to clear confusion and sharpen your will. In solitude, chant it and feel the vibrations settle into your bones, grounding and energizing you at once. And when calling forth change, speak it as an invocation, a declaration that shapes the energy around you, bending reality in ways you once thought impossible. Many will not understand this practice. They will see only words, sounds, empty, syllables. But you will know better. You will feel the shift, the unseen currents responding, resonating beyond yourself, becoming the sound. You have spoken. You have felt the name within you stir, awaken, and echo outward. You have begun to direct its energy, using it as a key to unlock the deeper forces within. But now you must go beyond speaking it. Now you must become it. Every name ever spoken is a vibration, but the deepest truths of the universe do not exist in words alone. They exist in resonance. When a monk chants in a monastery, when a singer loses themselves in a song, when a child laughs without restraint, these are not just sounds. They are pure being, expressed through vibration. And so it is with your true name. To speak your name is to call forth your essence. To become your name is to embody it fully. This is why ancient mystics did not simply chant sacred syllables, they lived them. The name was not just a sound they made, it was a state of being. Speaking your name was only the beginning. If you stop there, it remains a tool, useful, powerful, but incomplete. But when you align your thoughts, your actions, your very existence with the frequency of your name, you no longer just say it, you radiate it. You have met people like this before, even if you did not recognize it. The teacher whose presence alone makes you feel at peace. The artist whose work vibrates with something beyond explanation. And the elder who barely speaks, yet whose every breath feels like wisdom. These people do not need to declare their name to the world. They are their name. Their energy is in perfect harmony with it. And now, you must ask yourself, what does it mean to live in resonance with your name? You have felt your name as sound. You have spoken it with intention. You have directed its energy in moments of choice. Now let it go deeper. Let it tune you. Sit in silence. Breathe. Say your name, not out loud, but within yourself. Not as a thought, but as a vibration moving through your body. Let it settle into your bones. Let it reshape the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you move through the world. When you do this, you will notice something strange. The world begins to respond. Opportunities align more easily. People notice something different about you, though they can't explain what. Synchronicities increase. Your life moves as if guided by an unseen rhythm. This is not magic. It is resonance. It is the universe recognizing that you have attuned yourself to your true frequency. There is a secret hidden in all of this, one that cannot be taught, only discovered. And that secret is this. The name you have been seeking, the sound you have been speaking, the energy you have been awakening, it was never separate from you. It is you. It always was. All along, the journey was not about finding your name. It was about remembering who you already are. Now go. Walk in this knowing. Let your life sing with the sound of your truest self. And when you do, the world will hear. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.